Hey guys, this is Carolina Varsity. We're in our 2015 season, rolling into week 10, and we've got an old rival game of South Mecklenburg going over to play Olympic. I'm Dale
And
Ross.
I'm Matt Marr, the Pep Man. Keys for both teams here. For South Meck, coming off the tough loss to Catholic, they can't be down mentally over that. Coach White came out in the paper said they played well.
Hmm.
They just couldn't get over the hump of beating Catholic. They're real close. Offensively is the key here. Olympic has shown they have a tough defense. Their defense has played pretty well outside of the Catholic game here recently.
Right?
And South Meck's struggling on offense. Could it be a close game? Could it be a game where Olympic pulls an upset? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. The offensive line for South Meck's got to step up. They had trouble running the ball against Catholic. They got to find a way to get the run game going
Hmm.
somehow. Asking Elam to sit back there and throw the ball for a South Meck victory isn't fair to him, being a backup quarterback. The defense, I think, has got to create some turnovers, help that offense out. They created some last week, but they couldn't capitalize on them enough. Um, for Olympic offense, man,
Yep.
this you got two good defenses here. Um, the offenses for both teams have to step up, but especially for Olympic. They had issues with turnovers. It looks like they still had some issues. The kid had the player of the week for West Meck, had some turnovers go his way, had a fumble recovery, had a couple interceptions. So still that turnover bug is killing Olympic right now. They got to control the football because your defense is playing well. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a closer game than people expect when you look at the records.
Right?
But if Olympic can eliminate turnovers, they have a shot. You know, but it's going to be tough for them to move the ball against that South Meck defense. It's going to
Yes.
be real tough.
So,
So I think it's going to be low scoring. It'll be closer than what people expect. I still like South Meck to bounce back and get in the win column, but it's going to be a close game.
so the North Carolina High School football report says it'll be South Meck over Olympic 20-0.
Okay.
Um, and I am considering this ball game simply because I hadn't seen Olympic this year, and I would like to see them.
Mm-hmm.
So it is on a short list, and I hadn't seen South since earlier in the season.
Okay.
So maybe I'll go to this game. Uh, it is an old rival game, as I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So Olympic was formed by the splitting of South Mecklenburg. South Mecklenburg is playing to keep pace for second place in the conference. First is kind of a far reach with two conference losses,
Mm-hmm.
but they can win out. They'll finish second. So that's obviously that's what they got to do is win out, get that number 2 seed out of the conference, roll into the playoffs. They definitely need to bounce back. So it's a loss, and Coach White, as you say, he was happy with pleased with the way his team played. They just can't get over that hump, and they got to finish, is how he put it. They got to finish. So that's stuff to work on. But that offense has got to turn up, and here's an opportunity. They're going to be playing a tough defense, not as tough a defense as Catholic, but they're going to be
Yeah.
playing this.
Yeah.
That's what Olympic is. That's what they've sold themselves on this year, is playing tougher defense, and this offense is for South Mecklenburg has got to turn it up. This is a game they should be able to, and they've got to. For Olympic, Olympic is fighting for the playoffs, and we mentioned earlier tonight that I've talked about the history of playoffs, and it'll be the first time since 2007, which was the first time since back in the 90s that Olympic had not made the playoffs. It's been very rare.
Mm-hmm.
2007, they had some unique things happen of 5 starters going over to West Charlotte, and then 5 starters getting kicked off the team, and so they had their issues. This team has got to the defense has got to play the best they play,
Mm-hmm.
like they have played.
Mm-hmm.
The offense has got to stop turning the ball over, stop making mistakes, and maybe if you can do those two things, you can score some points and you can win this ball game. I guarantee you, Coach White considers this to be a tough ball game. It was a tough ball game for them last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the differences in last year and this year, South Meck's got a better defense than they had last year. Uh, their offense is probably so-so compared to last year. Um, maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to say right now, but maybe not quite as effective. But especially with the loss of the quarterback, and then of course Olympics offense is way down from last year, and their defense is probably up from last year. I think all that mixed together tells us we're probably going to have a close ball game, closer than what a lot of you may think when you look at the records. So, playing for pride, Olympic, playing for the playoffs. You got to win this ball game because your opportunities to squeeze into the playoffs are going away. 3 games left.
That's it.
All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good game.